Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. Check us out at one of our fine locations, 930 Route 34 in Matawan, New Jersey, or 233 East Main Street in Manasquan, New Jersey. From pizzas and salads to pasta and buffalo wings, we have something to suit every member of your family. Whether you're seeking to take out, delivery, or you just want to dine in, let us do the dishes, as we would be more than happy to take care of your next meal. Our courteous and friendly restaurant staff is here to meet and exceed all of your expectations. We promise an enjoyable experience at every time we serve you. Try our award-winning Sesame Crust Pizza, a recent winner at the Las Vegas Pizza Open. Visit us online at sesamepizza.com for store hours, menus, phone numbers to one of our great locations. Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. So close to eating at Mom's, but without all the yelling.
Hey guys, it's Tennille Dashwood, and you're listening to the Indie Super Show on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
Hey, wrestling promoters and booking agents, you know where you can get inexpensive prints of your hired talent? Right here at Fast Copy Printing Center, located in the Pearl of the Bay Shore. That's right. Whether you need 8x10s, 11x17s, posters, long format, or even weatherproof signs, we can do it all. We also can create promotional items for your business, such as pens, business cards, drink koozies, banners, or just a coffee mug. Stop on down to Fast Copy Print Center, 81 Broad Street in Keyport, New Jersey, or just call at 732-739-4646. No job is too big and satisfaction is guaranteed. Tell them Damage 365 sent you.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you are listening to Damage 365 Radio. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hold on. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and at this time we are joined by Colin West, the co-owner of Synergy Wrestling, based out of New Jersey, and they'll be running a show this Saturday, correct?
This Saturday, sound of my voice, you can hear 500 people hanging up there, clicking off their radios right now.
Damn it.
But yeah, this Saturday, March the 30th, we are in Hillsborough, New Jersey, at the Polish Falcons for Synergy 9.
Yes, I was able to attend your last show, got to check out your first ever show at that new location, and I got to say, other than the GPS leading me to the wrong parking lot, it's a pretty cool place.
I love it. It's a cool spot. They've just put 6 figures worth of renovations into it. The bar's great. It's a nice venue. There's a ton of parking, which low-key in Jersey is the worst thing about wrestling venues, is you end up having to walk 3 blocks and all this nonsense. But, yeah, very happy with the venue. And put yourself over a little bit more than that. I mean, you were a big part of getting that main event together, brokering the deal to bring in the NWA Women's Champion of the World, Jazz, and get that title on the line. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate the D365 family.
I appreciate the shout out. I've been fortunate enough to work with Jazz on numerous occasions, and that was actually the first time that I worked with her where she was in action in the ring, and not just there as a guest signing autographs. And she also did a seminar that week with Warriors of Wrestling, and I've been a part of a couple of those, from Raven to Molly Holly and Jazz, and I will say Jazz was probably the most physically involved when it came to the seminar, where she was taking bumps, giving bumps, and doing everything in the ring with everybody. So, here she is, 40-something years old. She's still kicking ass, looks phenomenal, absolute phenomenal shape, and she can still go with anybody and everybody in that ring. And Maria Manick found that out the hard way.
Oh, she did. I mean, that's the first thing. And I like to kind of break things down with people after the show, see how everybody felt. And Maria was just in awe. Maria was in absolute awe, as was I. And Maria gave her a good fight. But I'm going to tell you, how is Jazz better? How is Jazz better? And she was world class a decade ago, but she's better now. She ages like fine wine, man. She really was just something to behold in person. She imposed her physical will, which is something you can't really say. I mean, in a business now where everybody's just flying all over the place, trying to hit that one big move. I mean, Jazz just ground the thing to a halt and wrestled and imposed her will, and it was impressive.
You know, Jazz is one of those people I don't think gets her due, simply because she wrestled at ECW where there was really no women's wrestling going on. There was, Francine was there, Jasmine St. Clair was there, very early in Tori's career. So they really, I mean, she would get involved in the match, toss some of the girls around, maybe throw a suplex on a guy, but the wrestling aspect wasn't really there. Then she got to WWE, and then she was in that era where it was like the Barbie doll lingerie matches, wrestling in Jello, pillow fights, and she was maybe one of 5 people that actually knew how to mat wrestle. And once she kind of went through those people, there was nothing left for her to do. I mean, she was WWF Women's Champion, and she was the last one to hold that title. And then she was the first one to hold the WWE Women's title when they rebranded. And she never actually lost a title on either occasion. She was hurt both times and had to surrender the title.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, and in the pillars, you had your Jazz, Ivory, Victoria, Jacqueline, Molly Holly. And I mean, you look at it, and it's just, you kind of, I look at it and I wish that, Jazz and Natty, crossed over years-wise a little more. Jazz or Beth Phoenix or something. But, I mean, those confrontations, I mean, the Jazz and Jacqueline, Jazz and Victoria, that's the stuff you live for as a fan of women's wrestling. And those are the matches that I think really laid the groundwork for what's happening in women's wrestling today. So to have a bona fide legit star caliber wrestler like Jazz in the building it was a good experience for everybody at Synergy, and I was very thankful that she was there.
And she's the type of person that's very humble, and you could pick her brain, and she'll sit there or stand there and allow you to do that, and ask her a million questions, and she'll always give you the best advice that she thinks will help you, because she's been there. She's been on the indie scene. She's been with ECW. She's been with WWE. She's been unemployed for a while with wrestling, and when she concentrated on family and work. And then she got back into the wrestling business again. She now has a school in Texas. So there's a lot of things that that people, just kind of take it for granted with some of these female stars that you don't really remember, and it's sad because you don't really remember Jazz as a dominant force in the WWE. I mean, she was tossing women all over the ring during her day. And, whether WWE did her wrong or there was mutual problems there, whatever the case may be, if there's a grudge that's been going on for the last 20 years, which I think is the case, and that's why she's not in the Hall of Fame, that shouldn't take away from what she accomplished in the ring, and the fact that at her age, she still looks the way she does physically, still performs the way she does in the ring physically, and the NWA trusts her to represent their brand as the best women wrestler that they have to offer right now. I mean, she soundly defeated Amber O'Neal for that title.
And I think that's, don't show me, don't show me the results. Don't show me the show. Show me, those situations where trust gets to be put in an individual. And for damn near 3 years, if a company of the stature of the National Wrestling Alliance has put their faith in Jazz to represent that brand, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Yep, and I've like I said, I've been fortunate to work with her, but I've worked with other NWA Women's Champions. I've worked with Casey Carlisle.
I was just going to say.
I've worked with Barbie Hayden. I've worked with Amber O'Neal. And I've worked with Jazz. So your last 4 NWA Women's Champions I have worked with. And Jazz is, trust me, older than all of them. And she works just as hard as all of them. And she looks just as great in the ring as all of them. So what does that, tell you at the indie level, that just because you're still, you're wrestling at indie doesn't mean you're not going anywhere, because every match that you put on, you should be putting on as if someone is watching, because you never know who's watching. And somebody was watching Jazz when she was only on indie, trying to make a wrestling comeback, and knew her work ethic and seen what she was still able to do in the ring, and she got that phone call from the NWA.
It's just, you are one phone call or stream away in this era of streaming. Even, DVDs are what they are and live events are what they are, but in this era where you can go on independentwrestling.tv and look up Synergy Pro Wrestling and see every second of footage that we've ever shot, every match we've ever put on, including Jazz and Maria Manning.
Yep.
You don't know who's watching and from where. And so I looked at these guys and gals, on this level, and they say, well, maybe, if I go work here, I should go, I can phone in this one, but then I'm going to go over here because this one, there's going to be 400 people in this crowd versus 150 in that crowd, and I'm going to work harder for the 400.
And that's
you don't know who just watched you phone it in,
right? Yep.
And you don't know whose impression you changed forever. You know what I'm saying? That's why it doesn't really matter to me how many people are at our show. It matters, of course. I do everything to put butts in seats. I grind. I never, honestly, have a completely new respect for the people who succeed at promoting in this business, because there's a lot of guys out there just playing Vince, who are just, I have a company, it's mine, and I get to use these wrestlers like G.I. Joes. No, dude, go home. You're killing things. Go home. And I had to learn through failure what works and what doesn't, and the amount of respect and care that you have to give not only to your roster but to your craft and your storyline and getting people in the building. But let's say I just have a terrible, all things go wrong and I have a very light house.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to go out and put forth a show as though it was our best house, because the people who have paid to be there have paid to earn that right, and that it's my responsibility to do that. And I never know who's going to see that show and say, oh, Colin only cares when there's people at the building. You know what I'm saying? And there's too much of that. There's too much of that where guys now feel like, oh, I can turn it on because this is a big show or this is a big opportunity or I'm in a certain market. Don't overlook the quote-unquote smaller guys. You can't, because you never know who's watching.
Right.
And trust me, if the bigger boys are watching you, they're watching your entire body of work. They're watching everything.
Right. Well, like I say, in pretty much any industry that you're in, you're only good as your last, whatever it is. Your last booking, your last event, your last match. That's what you're going to be based on. You could have put on, 4-star matches for 6 straight years leading up to January of 2019, and then put on an absolute stinker your last match. Guess what? They're going to see that stinker and just think that that's it. That's the way you are now.
Not everybody has equity, and not everybody thinks that way. If you want, and I don't don't work directly with this guy. So you know that I'm not just saying